So let's discuss HBase database concept and table concept, and we will be discussing the column family concept. So overall, we will see the DDL part of HBase. So HBase is a database, and in databases you will find the concept of creating a specific uh, database instance, right? Or maybe you are giving a name like a create database. You must have done it in maybe RDBMS, other technologies, but in HBase we call it namespace. So we have this concept of namespace. So basically HBase can have multiple namespaces, and within namespaces we can have multiple tables. Within tables we can have multiple column families. Within column families we can have multiple columns. So that's how it is organized. If you see, like within columns you will have multiple cells, but I'm not going to that level right now. First understand, like database, it's like a database in other technologies. So you can create namespace and you can say that this particular namespace is for marketing department, this particular namespace is for sales department. You can give access permissions and a lot of other things based on the role of the user who is actually making use of the technology. For the time being, just understand namespace. There are two types of namespaces on a very high level, but you can create your own namespace also. So that also I'm covering. So one thing is you have a user defined namespace, and another one is system namespace. So system namespace is HBase, which is already there. So if you do the hands-on, you will find HBase system namespace is available. And then we have user defined namespace. User defined namespace, by default we have a default namespace, but you can create your own user defined namespace through create underscore namespace command. Yeah, so these things are possible here. And tables, in HBase, there are again two types of tables. One is user defined, another one is system table. So user defined table, you can give any name, your own name, yeah. And system table, let's say meta table. So this meta table is actually stores the metadata of HBase, and it is also stored on the cluster. So it's not like Hive. In Hive, the metadata is stored in RDBMS, but here we don't need any RDBMS in HBase. So we can store the metadata of HBase in the HBase cluster only. So we can store this table also, you will find it is in HBase cluster. Now, what is the concept of column family? We are going to discuss that, and then we will also discuss the columns. Let's see this part. Now, what is column family? Column family is group of columns. This column family is actually group of columns, and these group of columns sharing common attributes. So when I say common attributes, when I'm mentioning here few attributes, then you can correlate like what I'm going to say, and I will give you a couple of examples to correlate what is column family. So if you go to Facebook, you have a profile picture, cover photo, and then you will have this particular thing like your basic attributes like your name, your age, your gender. So there are so many attributes in Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, you will find that some attributes require versioning. So versioning, it is not provided by Facebook as such, but you can implement this kind of versioning in HBase very easily through the concept of column families. So what is versioning? So versioning is like, let's say I want to go back to the previous version of my profile picture. So it's not there in the Facebook, but you can implement it if you are using HBase functionality. So this may be required for profile pictures, or this may be required for some attributes where you want some historical information to be stored and you want to revert the recent information and roll back to the previous versions. So versioning is required, but we don't need versioning in case of date of birth, because date of birth will never change. So we don't want to roll back to another date of birth, right? So versioning is required in some attributes, versioning is not required in another set of attributes. Apart from that, you will see some attributes require compression. So pictures, they are already implementing compression algorithms, so they are very much optimized, so they don't need any compression algorithms. But if you store text data in the cluster, then you need compression, because it will give you very good compression ratio, and you can save a lot of space. So some attributes require compression, some attributes don't require compression. Yeah, some columns require compression, some columns don't require compression. Similarly, you will find there are other attributes, like you will find TTL, right? So you can say TTL means time to live. So you want the data on the cluster should expire after some time. Maybe you are having a banking domain, and in banking domain you want to remove the details of the credit card after the settlement process is done. So I'm just thinking aloud, maybe a scenario where you want the data should expire. So some attributes like PII data, or maybe you don't want to keep that like in your system. So it depends on your business, but I'm just thinking aloud, maybe some attributes don't require like long-term storage. You want to expire that particular data after 7 days. Let's say that within 7 days this settlement would be done, and I want to set a time, and after this particular time I will not even see the data in my cluster. So this is time to live. You can set this attribute for some of the columns in the database HBase table. Apart from that, you can also see like some data requires caching, because that data is frequently accessed. So you can say that few columns I am setting as a cached column, other columns I don't need caching. Similarly, you can also define block size. So you can say that this particular column family is having a larger block size, and other columns in the column family have smaller block size. For example, let's say you are storing a picture is like 300 MB, 500 MB, and if you are having block size, by default block size is 64 KB. So if you have block size 64 KB and you are trying to retrieve a picture 300 MB, or you are trying to write a picture 300 MB, then it is going to take long time and there will be a lot of round trips. So you want to optimize that. So for large amount of data, you can have larger block size, but for the column families which are storing text data, maybe you can have a smaller block size. So you can see we are grouping columns together for ensuring that the attributes can be changed, right, at the column family level. So that's the beauty of using column family. We can have different column families. So when you will be defining a table, you will be creating one or two column families in the table. That is what is recommended. Don't go beyond like 4 column families. Like within this range only you will keep, otherwise it will be a problem, and there are many logical reasons for that. But right now I'm not going there, because it's just a crash course to understand like column family concept, the table concept and column family. So let's say we have 2 column families. So when you create a table in HBase shell, so you will be doing like this. So you will be going to HBase shell, you will start HBase shell, and under HBase shell you will say that I want to create user, and within that we have info, and within that like we have other column family, let's say fix. So this is called table name, this is table name, this is column family 1, this is column family 2, this is column family 1, this is column family 2. So when we create a table in HBase, we don't even define all the columns. The columns in HBase can be dynamic, because if you remember, HBase can have millions of columns. So when you are having millions of columns in a particular table, then you cannot predefine all the columns with their data types. So it's a semi-structured data. So the columns will be populated in this table during runtime, when we will basically be having the data, we will be doing put. During that time you can insert data into HBase. So hope this makes sense, like what is the concept of column family, and how do we create a table, and what is namespace, what are different types of tables. Okay, so this should give you some idea like what can be done and how this can be done. So let's see some more details about HBase, and we will be looking into HBase architecture also.